means that we have our catch up with MS for Mid and West Wales, Eluned Morgan. Welcome, Eluned, to the show.
Diolch yn fawr.
It's great to have you back here. I love the fact that you've picked Ray, Where Is My Husband? Thank you so much for your
He's
song
probably
choices.
saying that about me, isn't he? Where's my wife? I'll never see her.
Well, I've met your husband once before at the county show, and he is a lovely man. And he was saying, I let her do what she needs to do, and I get to have cups of tea. And it was such a lovely little epitome, like the epitome of someone who's doing a lot for Wales and someone that's enjoying watching from the outside. So it's one of my favourite moments. It wasn't long after you were elected, actually, and put into the first ministerial role. So great tune there. And But wondering where you are. But we're actually going to start looking back and reflecting on someone else who's been a bit of a bedrock for particularly North Pembrokeshire. There's been an outpouring of love for someone, and someone that you would have known relatively well as a former member of the Labour Party.
That's right, Jordan Ryan, who died earlier this week. And he really was someone who gave so much to his local community. A councillor, as you say, in North Pembrokeshire. And he's represented Fishguard and Goodwick. He really, really threw himself into his work. And, he was dead serious about his job. He was really penetrative in terms of, asking the right questions on the council. But the great thing about Jordan, and he actually had left the Labour Party relatively recently, and the important thing for me is that before anything else, people are humans, and when people give to their community in the way that Jordan did, it really needs to be recognised. And this is somebody who was focused on his community, on the people who put him there. And I'm sure there'll be a massive, massive loss after him. He was an incredible guy and absolutely never gave up.
Yeah, the outpouring of sentiments from all corners of Pembrokeshire, particularly in the north, has been wonderful. The round table for Fishguard and Goodwick District, saying that he didn't let his disability define him. There's pictures of him taking part in the boxcar racing that they do. He was mayor for Fishguard 2 times round. Sam Kurtz, opposite colleague of yours in the Senedd, went to school with him and talked a little bit about his school time with Jordan. And people first is such a wonderful way to remember when these elected representatives do pass away, that they were people. Some of them are just wonderfully committed to their role and being a champion and the herald for other people that might be going through difficulties. And it sounds like, as I say, I didn't know him personally, but it sounds like he's going to be a great loss for that region.
Oh, certainly. And, he was one of those characters. He just turned up wherever you were. He was there, he was out and about, and as you say, his disability didn't restrict him in any way. He just got on with it. And, a really good example to people, you can throw yourself in irrespective of your physical disabilities. Very, very good and highly intelligent, highly passionate, highly, really serious, good values and convictions.
Yeah, he will be missed by everyone in the council. Councillor John Harvey actually penned something as well. You can find that on our Pure West Radio Facebook page and on our website. Talking of people, you've been meeting lots, being out and about again over the last 7 days. How's it been, and were you caught out by the snow?
Well, do you know what? I wasn't caught out by the snow because I was up in North Wales. But you know what was really funny is that I stayed just overnight in one hotel, and there were more people in Pembrokeshire there than anywhere else. So it was a turkey and tinsel week that they were celebrating. Who knew that happened? But there we go. There was a whole load of them having a great time in mid-November. It was great. Finished up playing bingo with them and things, and it was great fun. But they were obviously having a great laugh. But I was up there in order to open an extension to a facility right in the middle of the Eryri National Park, the Snowdonia, and this was Siemens Health in Ears, and this is a company. It was quite incredible. It's in Llanberis, and what they do is they develop. They've got this new manufacturing facility. They've expanded it. They make these instruments that help to detect, if people have allergies and things. And the amazing thing about this is it is literally in the middle of a national park. There are 400 jobs associated with it. So it's this massive, massive facility with these highly world-leading experts right in the middle of the national park. And the Welsh government has helped to secure that investment. So it was really good to go there and just see the brilliance of what was going on there.
I love that there's these kind of secret organizations that are doing wonderful work and employing lots of people, and the average person doesn't really know about them. I'm thinking about like Frio, who I'm mentioning it now, you might not know about it. They're based just outside of Wolves Castle, and yet they help diabetics all over the world, and it's here on our doorstep.
Oh, well, that's going to go on my list of things to visit. That's great.
Yeah, it really is brilliant. And of course, you were up at that neck of the woods fairly recently as well, looking at power. And you alluded to something to do with this, to do with power and this whole AI generation. You've been looking at tech a little bit more as well, haven't you?
That's right. So this week is Wales Tech Week, and we've got people from all over the world who've come to Wales, and we're really starting to build a reputation now as a place that is dead serious about tech. So did you know that Wales is one of the global centres for compound semiconductors? Now, what is that? I probably can't tell you in detail what that is, but what I know is there's a little chip in almost every phone on the planet that is made in Wales. So wherever you go in the world, there'll be somebody carrying a little piece of Wales around with them. And I just love that picture. But what we've had is not just one AI growth zone, but two now. And so that was announced late last week. So we've got a North Wales AI growth zone and now a South Wales AI growth zone. And what we're doing is developing cutting edge technology, including, for example, in medical technology. There's a place in Chepstow, Creo Medical. We've got the SPTS in Newport, leaders of semiconductors. I met last week with this massive company that are building huge data centers, creating thousands of jobs and opportunities for loads of jobs to be built around them. Because whether we like it or not, the AI revolution has started. It's changing the world. So we can either kind of be dragged along with it, or we can try and lead it. And that's where I want to be. And we're doing really well now. We've got this very serious program of work in relation to AI. And that matters for Pembrokeshire as well, because Pembrokeshire's business, young people, public services, they all need these skills, the investment, the opportunity. We've all got to learn how to use the technology. And I don't know if you've used it, Tom and Gina, but my God, it is impressive. You can get it to do amazing things. And, I would encourage people to use it, but we've got to work out how to use it to its maximum. But obviously, sometimes people feel a bit threatened by it because they think, oh my God, that can do my job now. But there's, we always have change and shift and growth, and it's going to happen. So how do we then make sure we're skilled up for the next bit of change? So that's, I think, one of the things government's got to do is make sure that people are ready and equipped for the change. Because, when the internet came, we all went, oh gosh, how's that going to affect us? And actually, it's really helped us all. So we've just got to be ready for the next massive big change in our society, and ideally get ahead of it. We're going to have smarter energy systems around the haven. We'll have digital tools to help small business grow. We'll have precision farming. All of these things are going to happen. We've got to make sure it just doesn't happen to us. As I say, we're leading it. We've got to see it lift every part of Wales, including those rural and community coasts around Pembrokeshire. So having two AI investment zones, making sure our people are equipped for it, that's where I think we should be heading as a nation.
Yeah. Gina, have you dabbled in AI?
Only changed a picture. But I'm sure, Tom, you have worked. You've worked with it. Put it into your daily working life. Come on, give us a little bit of a thing of what you've been up to with it.
Well, I tend to use it to help with copywriting more than anything else. And I know that in the creative industries, as Eluned just referenced to there is quite a lot of fear about creative arts in particular.
Yeah.
But the flip side of that is you mentioned healthcare and the precision of diagnoses because of the assistance of AI is skyrocketing early interventions on other aspects. So the creative element is one half of it, and then precision farming, healthcare, all of that then is something that will have an overall benefit to society, let alone just like the risk of creative arts then.
Yeah, well, I always think, listen, it's going to happen. So you've got to try and manage it and control it. And we've got actually really, I think, a really good approach to it. We've been working with the trade unions in Wales to make sure, right, hang on, because, how do we do this and use it in an ethical way? So it's kind of got a moral code around it as well. So we've developed that really well. But as you say, I went to see a lab in North Wales where what they do, they use AI to analyze the tests that they do on cancer cells, and they can do it much quicker and much more accurately. So I mean, how great is that for the public? It's amazing.
Yeah. Oh, the outcomes, the potential outcomes for using it properly and ethically are fantastic. And it's great to see that Wales you're not just dragging on by the coattails. We're actually trying to be at the forefront of that. Not one, but two AI centres in Wales. I think it's a great step. And it's being managed, and it's with the trade unions. It's got lots of input. It's not just one person's idea and running with it.
That's right. Yeah.
From AI and technology, you've also been looking at sports, and particularly younger people getting in sports. And we've talked in the past about healthy Wales and a prosperous Wales, and that comes from being active. Sports investment as well this week.
That's right. And one of the things I did in North Wales, I visited Holywell Football Club, which is a relatively small football club. But you know what? They've had over £250 million of money invested in their club. And what's interesting is it wasn't specifically for sports, but it was for helping them with their energy. So they put solar panels on. And what that means is that they've been able to open up their club to the community a lot more. So, while I was there, I met some young people who, they weren't getting on in school. So the football club is actually helping them to take them out of school, to put them into a different environment. And they're learning much better in that space. But we've invested £30 million in investment and really targeting that at teens, because we've got to get more people active and healthy, and we've put some of that money into 3G pitches and upgraded club facilities, getting better changing rooms, and what we want to see is less people dropping out of sports. We want to see healthier communities. And I think Pembrokeshire is a great example of this, because we've seen improvements in Haverfordwest, in Fishguard Sports Centre. We've seen upgraded pitches. We've seen really strong youth programmes in Narberth RFC and Tenby AFC. And schools are really pushing girls football and girls rugby. And the other thing that's worth remembering is, look, when we build these incredible new schools, as we have done in Pembrokeshire, they also get these amazing pitches, and those are then open to the community in the evening. So, everybody wins here, and that's really great. So I do hope everybody takes up the opportunity. I've been doing my yoga again this morning. So it's really important, I think, that we all recognise we all feel better if we do a bit of sport and fitness.
I think so. It definitely kept me focused. And Gina, I know that you're a fan of a dog walk to clear the mind as well.
Yeah, it's really good for you, and we're very, very lucky here across Pembrokeshire to have so many opportunities, like you say, of all ages as well, from school and just to get involved and get out and about.
Yeah, and looking at sports facilities a little bit closer to home than Holywell, Haverfordwest County, of course, had their resurfaced pitch. They've got their LED lights during the half terms and summer holidays. They've got their school camps going on. They've got another one for Christmas, limited spaces, so book early. And yeah, it's amazing going down to the Bridge Meadow now and just seeing people of all ages, including their new women's team, thriving on their first year since coming back. And it's great that these opportunities are being afforded thanks to investment from councils, governments, the FAW, who've been on a bit of a mission in America trying to get more investment towards our clubs as well. There's a lot happening in the world of sport that we might not be aware of and we won't see for another couple of years.
No, that's right. And look, it's great, particularly this time of year, getting out and about, get off your screens, get out and about. And some of it is just about meeting people and getting on with people as well. It's Gina, you do a lot of dog walking. I mean, there's a whole community of dog walkers, aren't there? It's a real bonding experience. It's brilliant stuff.
It is. And sport is a wonderful thing. Sport Pembrokeshire do a wonderful thing. And the calibre and the breadth of sport that's supported in Pembrokeshire, from grassroots all the way up to Olympians representing Wales and the Great Britain from Pembrokeshire, it all kind of comes to a head on Friday. The Sport Pembrokeshire Awards are back, and we'll be able to listen back to it on Monday evening because we're going to catch up with all the winners. That's my role on Friday evening, showing that there is an appetite for staying healthy, for being sport mad here in West Wales.
That's great. And I look forward to hearing the results.
Yeah, so looking forward to that. And well, talking of investments and things, money being poured into this, that, and which way, the budget.
Yeah, big day.
Big day. What's Welsh Government's viewpoint when Westminster brings that briefcase out?
Well, look, we spend a bit of time trying to influence it like everybody else does, as you can imagine. So, I've been speaking to the Chancellor and some of her team, and speaking to various ministers in the UK Treasury, even the Prime Minister, saying, look, this is what we want for Wales. Look, what I want is a budget that's going to be fair to Wales, that recognises the pressures on our public services and supports the communities that need it most. So I'm looking ideally for more money for the NHS. I want to see people help to the cost of living crisis. People are finding it really difficult to pay their bills, especially the heating bills and stuff. So a bit of support for that kind of thing. It's been great that they've already announced this uplift in the minimum wage. That's going to make a massive difference to people on low incomes. There's about 130,000 people who are affected by the minimum wage. So lifting that is going to make a big difference. So the hourly rates for the over 21s, they've already announced this, is going to go up to £12.71. And, that's really good news, I think. And £10.85 for the under 18s. And, I think that is really good news, and that's going to help a lot of people. So, they've already delivered for us, to be fair, on a couple of things, because we asked for that money for the WILVA, the nuclear thing, and for the 2 AI growth zones. I'm also looking for them to lift the 2-child benefit cap. I think a lot of people are, they're appalled by child poverty in a rich country. So, and we are a relatively rich country, so we don't want to see children suffer. So that would be good. And obviously, support for the poorest pensioners. Making sure that we see that triple lock protected, making sure that they get an uplift, at least in line with inflation, if not more. So all of those things would be really great, I think, for the nation. So we've been trying to influence that. We'll see how successful we've been today.
Yeah, we'll have to have a recap. No doubt will be a topic of conversation next Wednesday when we're talking and see what the reality of the budget actually is, as opposed to guessing what's going to happen now. We'll come back next week when we've got the facts in front of us. And then changing our attention then to local dignitaries who are being celebrated. Eluned, Lord Gordon Parry is going to be having Elund's first blue plaque, I believe.
Yeah, that's right. And Gordon Parry, I did meet him on a few occasions, and he was a lovely man, and he was an absolute legend in Pembrokeshire. And I think it would have been his 100th birthday, and they'll be unveiling a blue plaque on Bethesda Baptist Chapel in Eluned. I think people, still remember him fondly. He was a teacher in Haverfordwest Secondary, and he tried to become an MP on several occasions, 4 times I think, never quite made it, but he did get made into a life peer. So was in the House of Lords for about 30 years. championing Pembrokeshire on every opportunity. So now feels just right for it. I think he earned this plaque, and it's really great to see him recognised.
Yeah,
I actually met him, and he was just so down to earth. You could have that conversation with him.
Yeah.
And I actually went on Vertigo at Oakwood. Do you remember that? Sort of going from the thing. Yeah, with him and his nephew Jamie Owen. The three of us went down on that. It was fantastic, and that's the memory that I have, and lots of smiles.
Is that right? Was his nephew Jamie Owen? I
Yes,
didn't know that relation. Well.
That's quite the pub quiz question. Who did Gina go on Vertigo with?
Absolutely, yeah.
You're never going to guess it.
That was a terrible ride. I don't know how on earth you went on that. You couldn't have paid me enough money to go on that. No way.
We've got Paul Gisborne-Hilton watching us at the morning. Good morning, Gina, Tom and Lynn. Great interview and very informative. Agree about being outdoors. Good luck with the dog walking, Gina. Paul, of course, part of the Over 50s Forum here in Pembrokeshire. I hope you're having a great time. And, well, before we send you off on your day then, how's the 7 days looking? I imagine today is going to be glued to the budget to some extent, and then off out and as we head into December next week.
Oh my gosh, honestly, the next couple of weeks are absolutely manic. So really busy. I'm meeting the Prime Minister at the end of the week. We'll be preparing for an investment summit, the most significant business event ever held in Wales. That's coming Sunday and Monday next week. We've invited people from all over the world, got over 300 top executives coming to Wales. Most of them have never been here before. I want to land some money. I want to land some investment. I'll be making sure that some of it comes to Pembrokeshire as well. So really looking forward to telling you all about that next week, and a whole load of other things going on. So that's going to be big next week. And there's a lot going on, and there's even more going on towards the end of next week. But I'll tell you about that next week.
Tell us about that next week. Thank you so much, as ever, for your time on a Wednesday morning. We started off with Ray, Where Is My Husband? What else have we got coming up in the next couple of minutes after our What's Ons and Traffic and Travel?
Well, we've got Ed Sheeran, A-Team. My kids always laugh at me because I can never remember the name of the song. So I always tell them it's the one with the dragonfly in the pipe that goes to a different planet. And they look at me and they're like, what are you talking about? But there's a line in it that says, in a pipe she flies to another land. Yes. My imagination has just gone nuts. And it was great, actually. I did indulge in watching the one shot of Ed Sheeran on Netflix. It's an amazing thing. He just wanders around New York with his guitar out and about. It's a brilliant show. He's such a lovely man. It's a great, and he can write music, can't he?
Oh, he can. And that's the ones that we know about. He's written, the Westlife new one was written by him as well. He's a very, very talented man. Eluned, member of the Senedd for Mid and West Wales, thank you so much for joining us, everyone, this Wednesday morning. Can't wait to find out how this busy week concludes next Wednesday when we catch up.
Diolch yn fawr iawn. Thank you.
Diolch.
Wonderful Wednesday, sponsored by Price and Kelway Solicitors.